Now I know what you're thinking. Teddy, I did not get into programming to do stupid console logs all day. I got into programming to think big. And guess what? In this video, we are going to do that. We are going to think bigger because we're going to take the script and we're going to put it within our own script file, which will make it so that we won't have all of this code within our HTML, and we can logically separate things and make things look a little bit better. And not only that, but I'm going to show you the power of the developer console in Chrome DevTools and just all of the cool things that you can hack, all of the cool things that you can do with it, and just how to have fun. So first, but let's not get too carried away. Let's go ahead. Let's get this script file out of here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go script. And then what you want to do, you want to go src. And we will call this index.js. You could call this script.js. It's usually index or script. It very rarely is either one of those. And then what we're going to do, we're going to right click right here and we are going to click new file. And then we will go index.js and give it the exact same name that we have in our index HTML. Another thing that I like to do is when I'm working on JavaScript in a separate file like this, I like to put it over here into a separate tab, and I think it looks a lot better and it's a lot easier to actually see. And let's go ahead here and actually test it out. So I'm going to go console.log and I'm going to just log my name again. So we're going to just go here, and would you look at that? That is so beautiful. But I don't think I've really explained to you guys what really is the Chrome DevTools. And like I mentioned before, the Chrome DevTools is like finding a whole entire different world right in your web browser. The Chrome DevTools, it looks just like a tab. It looks innocuous. I think the word would be like it's very unassuming, but the power of the Chrome DevTools is off the charts. And the best part, it's 100% free. It just comes with the browser. The developers just give it to you, and it's probably worth a lot of money and a lot of man hours behind it. But let's just go through and talk about each and every little tab so that you kind of know what's going on. The most important ones are going to be your elements, your console, and network. Network, not right now. Network will be probably when you get a little bit further along, but 90% of the time right now, it's going to be in the elements, the console, and a little bit of the sources. The sources is a good place if you just want to play around with some snippets. You can create your own snippets and test code in here, and then you can just make your own files just right here. Most of the time, you're going to do that in here, at least I do, and you're probably not going to do too much fooling around in the sources in this course. The second is going to be the console. The console is almost like a dashboard, an interactive dashboard. So just watch this. When you are inside of the console, type in window. And the window object is almost like the God object, as weird as that sounds. It is a global, just massive object that pretty much allows you to manipulate a browser in any way that you want to. You could do sketchy things, you could hack, you could make the browser do alerts, you could blur, you could there's actually a database in here. There's it's what's called an IndexedDB. And whenever I see the word IndexedDB, I have a mild panic attack because I actually worked in IndexedDB. And like I said, there's a whole entire database that you can play around with in this console. And I highly recommend that you just find a interesting word and just type it into the browser. So let's just type in alert, the very first one. So we'll go down here. We'll click this little button right here. My mouse is going crazy here. So we'll just go ahead. We'll click this little button right here, and then we'll just type in alert and just type in a word. So we'll just say test, just like this. And we have officially just manipulated the browser. We have manipulated the window object. This console right here is essentially like going in the back of your TV and being able to plug and play with all of the different knobs and being able to manipulate your TV in any ways. And the best part about it is that if you break something, you can just hit the refresh button and it all goes away, so your parents don't yell at you after you screw up the HDMI cable in the back of your TV. And the next one is going to be the elements. And if you look at the elements, it kind of just makes sense. It's our HTML right here. And you can do all types of cool things. You can edit it and you can manipulate it in the browser just as if you can manipulate the browser on the fly. And all of these things, I highly recommend that you just go through a little bit. You don't have to go too crazy and just play around, see if you can break something. And if you break something and you're worried, just go ahead, hit that refresh button. Everything is blown away and everything goes back to square one. Okay, so let's talk about one last thing before we leave, and that is semicolons. So semicolons are not required in JavaScript, and that is very unique to JavaScript in itself. You don't need a semicolon, but if I had to give people a piece of advice, is that always use a semicolon after the end of each statement because it's going to make things more clear and more concise. When you first start programming, you're probably not even going to understand where to put semicolons and where to actually, where should they go, where should they not go. But just realize that at the end of the day, you really should try to put semicolons at the end of your code, even if you don't know where, because JavaScript is very lax like that, and JavaScript is very forgiving, but at the same time, it is a good code practice to make sure to put semicolons after the end of everything. Anyway, that's going to be the video for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Next video, we're going to move on to variables. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.